For 10 whole years, I've kept a journal detailing the most impactful moments of my life, and I can seriously say that journal is the most valuable thing I own. No joke, guys, keeping this journal and reading it years later has genuinely changed my life for the better, and I'd like to share that. Let's do it in 3 parts: how to really journal in the first place, the lessons I have learned from journaling, and tips to help start a journal that I wish I heard 10 years ago. First, how to journal for real. Journaling might mean a lot of different things to you. There really is no right way to journal, but I do think there's a wrong way. At least there was for me. What I've learned is that journaling without honest intention won't ever really last, and it might never feel impactful. So what does that actually mean? I've tried consistently journaling about my goals, journaling about what I'm grateful for, and journaling to help me study. Those are awesome topics, and if journaling like that works for you, that's fantastic. For me, those things never stuck because it always started to feel like a checklist. If I forced it, it didn't feel authentic. If you're journaling because it's part of your alpha sigma male billionaire CEO lone wolf morning routine, for example, I'm not sure it'll last. It didn't for me anyway. No offense to all the alpha sigma male billionaires. Things completely changed when I started journaling purely because I thought it would be cool for my future self to be able to look back on writings that detailed things in life that left an impact on me at the time. There isn't much more to it than that. I just thought it would be interesting. I also only really journaled when I felt I had something important to write. When something happened to me that felt significant, when I really learned something about life or myself, that's when I journaled. I wasn't necessarily seeking to gain anything or change the whole world in the short term. When I started really thinking about writing in a journal like this, something that could help future Tanyan, sure, but mainly something that was just fun, that's when things clicked for me. It was a stress reliever, not a stress inducer. We deal with enough of those. Second, what have I learned from all this? There are countless moments that take place in our lives mainly used to shape us into a future version of ourselves, especially at a younger age. There are so many situations in which we get to learn the most highly regarded lessons in life for ourselves. In fact, this is the only way to really learn at all. I can make videos sharing lessons I have learned for years and years, but until you walk through those moments for yourself, the lesson doesn't feel like it's earned and it doesn't feel like it's yours. When you keep a journal of the most important moments that have impacted your life, you grant your future self a unique ability to look into those moments and decisions you made in depth. You can actively see yourself become, for better or for worse, the person you are today. Not only can this give you wonderful insight as to how you've changed for the better, but it can help you to make better decisions for yourself moving forward. I know it might sound less than pleasant to have a notebook that details some of the embarrassing mistakes that you've made, but as someone who's made more mistakes than they would like to admit, take it from me, it's worth it. It's like what they say in The Lion King. The past can hurt, but the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it. There are so many moments in my journal that involve a younger me writing about relationships I had with girls, for example. Looking back on those as a married man now is really special because I can actively see myself learning how to become a good boyfriend and husband. Those lessons that I learned are still an active part of my marriage today, too. Before I get to the next section, I'm gonna plead for your support. I'm gonna ask you to subscribe if you think my content is worth your watch. I love making these videos and would love to be able to make them more often. You supporting my videos can help make that happen. Third, some tips for you to start your journal with. If you're thinking about starting a journal, these are the tips that I would give you that I wish I could have given myself a decade ago. First, I think you have to start with the right mindset, and that goes beyond journaling for the right reasons like I talked about earlier. This journal more than likely isn't going to solve world hunger or build the next trillion-dollar company, and that's more than okay. This is a chance for you to be authentic with yourself, something that's becoming increasingly more difficult to do, especially as a man. Second, don't get too caught up in the details. You don't have to write the right things, not at all. At the end of the day, this journal is for you. If you want to write but don't know what to say, try anyway. If it doesn't work that day, no sweat. Like I said earlier, we deal with enough stressors day to day. Why add this to the list? The only structure this journal has to follow is the structure that you place on it. That extends to the physical journal itself too. It might sound silly, but your handwriting can be chicken scratch just like mine, or you can write on pages torn out of a spiral notebook. You can type it all out if you want to also. It makes no difference. I find it more relaxing and engaging to write on pages, but if the convenience and security of typing it on your computer works for you, awesome. Third, consider sharing what you write. Some of the most important advice I've ever gotten has come when I've shared info from my journal with people that I trust. Yes, this journal is for you, and that doesn't have to change. You don't have to shove the pages in someone's face and read it word for word. And of course, you don't ever have to share anything, and you can still find keeping a journal to be really impactful. However, just journaling about important subjects and events will put those things on the front burner of your mind, and chances for those topics to come up naturally in conversation will appear much more frequently. Maybe just consider how relationships in your life could change if those people you love and trust the most were let in on the things you were thinking to journal about. I really believe that actively journaling can change your life, and I'm not just saying this as some sort of YouTuber hyperbole to get you to watch my video. I truly stand by this. I've looked back at my journal through the years countless times. Not only is it something that's relaxing and engaging for me, I know that consistently seeing what I wrote helped to serve as a guide when life got crazy. 10 years later, I look back and see countless reasons to be grateful for the life I have now. It's a win-win-win. If you have experienced journaling, then share it in the comments. I love to read and respond to as many comments as I can. It supports the channel, and I think engaging in dialogue like that can be extremely helpful for all of us in a lot of ways. That's another win-win-win. Thanks for watching.